A blessed day to you, my dear and respected panelists. I am Miss Arselyn Bustoba, a Master of Education, major in mathematics student of Pampanga Agricultural State University. Allow me to present to you my study entitled Development and Validation of Self-Paced Learning Digital Module in Mathematics 10. As an introduction, mathematics is one of the subjects that students study. It could be a language that represents a collection of major theoretical perspectives. To begin with, all branches of science require mathematics to significantly raise science predictability and control. Mathematics is a tool for extrapolating using a specific mentality. Also, it is clear that mathematics is extremely important to teach, cultivate, and master in the field of education because if students learn mathematics lessons in class properly during the learning process, it will result in lifelong learning. The mathematics curriculum is one of the most effective tools that today's teachers can use to guide students toward the country's development, modernization, and industrialization goals. The goal of increasing productivity, sustainable development, and global competitiveness is to provide opportunities for all Filipinos to grow and develop. Moreover, teachers play a crucial role in the innovation of teaching mathematics. Education institutions are concerned about global initiative to promote quality education in order to produce qualified graduates, as well as continuous effort to seek and test new teaching approaches. The notion that the educational system is not sufficiently preparing students for the future and job in the 21st century has led people all over the country to look at alternative educational approaches. The following are the challenges in Philippine education today. First is the mathematical performance of learners. In 2018, the Philippines joined the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development's OECD Program for International Student Assessment (PISA) as part of the Standard Basic Education Amendment Plan in an effort to globalize Philippine education standards. The findings show that the Philippines students' mathematical performance is deficient, ranking second last among the 79 countries that took part in the study. The Filipino students excel in knowledge acquisition but fare considerably low in lessons requiring higher order thinking skills. Most students nowadays spend less time studying, a significant portion of them does not keep a calendar, and they are unaware of the executive time plans, which adds to the difficulties they face when studying mathematics. Another challenge is the current situation brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. To be ready to cope up with the current situation and international standards of foreign universities and colleges, education institutions within the Philippines are seeking new ways of designing education to boost the prevailing educational system of the country, as well as to prepare students in facing challenges for the 21st century. Here is what other researchers found out. First, one of the components of learning is learning materials in the process of learning mathematics, according to Baliado and Espinar, 2017. Second, modules can attract students' attention and increase students' involvement in learning mathematics. That is according to Columbano, 2019. In the study of Nardo in 2017, a module can be designed for individual self-paced learning and motivates autonomous studies. Another, self-paced learning enables the learner to control his rate of exposure to learning activities that contains a non-adjacent dependency from the teacher. That is according to Farmer, Fine, Jaeger, and Kian in 2013. Number 5. When properly implemented through an enforced vigilance from the academic mentor, self-paced learning ensures quality learning. That is according to Anderson, Drawn, Malone, Paul Hoover, and Upton, 2015. A self-paced learning module is an orderly set of instructions designed to facilitate the learner's mastery of a body of knowledge or a procedure that, when combined with other modules, learners can master a comprehensive body of knowledge or a complex process, according to Kalukag 2013. Another is the digital modules or lessons offered via School's Learning Management System, LMS, are examples of self-paced learning modules. That is according to Cooper and Mail in 2018. Another, online learning or distance education program lets students learn at their convenience since it does not require attendance at training centers and universities. This enormous shift to online instruction prevents and controls the spread of virus, for it does not need face-to-face interaction or the conventional educational process, according to Toquero 2020. And included in the study of Alfonso and Garcia in 2015, Open and Distance E-Learning describes the latest online or web-based DE style. ODEL stands for Forms of Education Provision that use contemporary technologies to allow various synchronous and asynchronous communication among learners and educators. The necessary and significant factors needed for successfully providing the lessons in an online environment are technological devices, program design, instructors' choices, amenable curriculum, and corroborative stakeholders. That is according to Barr and Miller in 2013. With this, the researcher was inspired to improve and innovate the teaching method by the current state of mathematics education in the Philippines. The purpose of this research is to put to the test a new method of teaching mathematics by combining two teaching methods, modular and self-paced learning, into a single teaching principle, modular self-paced learning instruction, and discovering new teaching concepts. This research requires the development of instructional materials to assist student researchers in connecting the role of mathematics in producing a high-quality research and the use of modern technology. The researcher investigated the possibility of developing self-paced learning digital module for grade 10 mathematics in an open and distance e-learning (ODEL) format via learning management system in response to evolving situations brought about by the pandemic and an investigation into the efficacy of modular self-paced learning to teaching mathematics (LMS). It is for the specific reason that the researcher conducted this study. For the research problems, we have the first one. How may the self-paced learning digital module in Mathematics 10 be developed? And how may the self-paced learning digital module in Mathematics 10 be validated by the expert in terms of content quality, design and format, technical or technological quality, and the pedagogical quality? For the results and discussion, here is Table 1. The preparation, development, and validation phases are shown in Table 1 as part of creating a self-paced learning digital module in Mathematics 10. During the preparation phase, a letter of authorization was sent to the College of Education's Dean's Office requesting permission to use the college DE or ODL questionnaires. Following the questionnaires' approval, letters of request were sent to the two sets of validators who were in charge of determining the essential and non-essential topics, as well as evaluating the SPLDM's content, format and design, technical or technological, and pedagogical aspects. During the development phase, the subject matter experts, SMEs, in Mathematics 10 use the evaluation rating sheet for DE and ODL modules to validate the essential and non-essential topics. As there are 10 SMEs involved, a learning competency must have a CVR of at least 0.62 to be included as a topic in the construction of the SPLDM. According to Loesch table for minimum values of content validity ratio, the essential learning competencies were classified according to the topic's nature. The researchers' preferred learning management system, which is the Google Classroom, was then used to create the first draft of the SPLDM. During the validation phase, the experts are given access to the Google Classroom for the SPLDM link, as well as a copy of the evaluation rating sheet for the ODL modules, which include content, design and format, technical or technological, and pedagogy aspects of self-paced learning digital module in Mathematics 10. Experts scrutinize the created SPLDM for the presence of each criterion for each factor. The findings of the SPLDM's initial validation are described statistically by tallying the nominal data. Experts' comments and recommendations led to further adjustments of a criterion in a specific factor marked no by an expert. The feedback and suggestions were incorporated in the module until all of the indicators in each aspect were marked yes. As the final validation, another round of description of the outcomes in the final validation is recorded by tallying the nominal data and the frequencies as statistical treatment. The essential and non-essential topics in Mathematics 10 for the first quarter are shown in Table 1.1. According to the table, 13 of the 18 learning competencies were essential, that is 72.22%. The content validity ratio, which requires a minimum value of 0.62 for topics to be regarded essential as stressed in Loesch content validity ratio, with the opinion of 10 subject matter experts, was used to confirm the results. The results conform to Obara S. 2018, stating that pattern recognition is a vital curriculum area that students at all grade levels should study. From detecting simple patterns to understanding algebraic expressions, because patterns are so fundamental in mathematics. The essential and non-essential topics in Mathematics 10 for the second quarter are shown in Table 1.2. According to the table, 11 of the 14 learning competencies, 78.57%, were essential. The results show that topics in geometry and plane coordinate geometry are essential to the grade 10 curriculum, as supported in the study of Abunda and 2020. Geometry in particular helps students develop visualization, critical thinking, intuition, perspective, problem solving, conjecturing, deductive reasoning, logical argument, and proof, all of which needed to be cultivated in secondary mathematics. The essential and non-essential topics in Mathematics 10 for the third quarter are shown in Table 1.3. According to the table, 10 of the 12 learning competencies, which has a percentage of 83.33%, were essential. Most of the topics identified as essential are under probability. This is in accordance to the study of Dink et al. 2019 that it is critical to include probability in secondary mathematics education curricula. And then, the essential and non-essential topics in Mathematics 10 for the fourth quarter are shown in Table 1.4. According to the table, 4 out of 6 learning competencies, 66.67%, were essential. The essential topics identified on the fourth quarter are under statistics. And according to Oliveira et al. 2018, statistics is becoming increasingly important in higher education. Education institutions respond to the current demand of people who can handle massive amounts of data quickly and master data analysis techniques that aid decision-making based on the sample data inference. Generally, the Mathematics 10 curriculum includes 50 learning criteria in total. After the content evaluation, however, only 38, which is 76%, were deemed essential. These fundamental learning competencies were arranged in 27 modules based on the nature of the topics. The content validation of the SPLDM is highlighted in Table 2.1. Based on the findings of the initial validation, all validators, 6 out of 6, agreed that the SPLDM met 5 criteria in the content factor. The module was praised for how well the divisions of each topic as well as interaction within each part are presented, allowing learners to quickly absorb each lesson. As a result, the SPLDM created includes lessons aligned with the Department of Education's learning competencies in Mathematics 10. The SPLDM contains vital, useful, and relevant information. Furthermore, the information in the SPLDM is presented in a clear, accurate, and error-free manner. The SPLDM aligns the situation and learning process with accepted standards. Table 2.2 displays the design and format validation of SPLDM. All validators, 6 out of 6, agreed that the SPLDM met criteria 1, 2, 4, and 5 in the design and format factor. But only 4 out of 6 validators agreed that the SPLDM met criterion 3. One validator who was dissatisfied with criteria number 3 of the generated module suggested making the graphics more engaging and visible. As a result, the researcher changed the graphics such that the banners and information visuals used in the SPLDM meet the validator's requirement. Another validator recommended using Bitmoji, an application that allows you to build an avatar that looks exactly like you, and then add it to the SPLDM visuals. The researcher then enhanced the SPLDM's aesthetics with Bitmojis. During the final validation, criterion 3 was achieved. Based on the final validation results, all validators, 6 out of 6, agreed that the SPLDM met the design and format criteria. The results show that the textual data in the generated SPLDM is presented clearly and distinctly. The SPLDM's information graphics are brief and relevant, and they may easily capture students' attention, motivating them to correctly understand and answer the module's topic. Finally, the SPLDM produced is properly labeled and organized, including themes, subtopics, and discourse. Table 2.3 demonstrates the validation in terms of technical or technological factors. This component was validated by a different team of validators, which included 3 ICT professionals. Based on the final validation results, all 3 validators agreed that the SPLDM met all the criteria under the technical or technological aspect. According to the results, learners can easily access the generated modules using commonly available applications. Furthermore, the module is available online, allowing students to virtually communicate with the teacher and other students through comments and private messages. Finally, the SPLDM was fully integrated into the Google Classroom learning management system, allowing online distance learning. The conformation of the pedagogical component is shown in Table 2.4. Based on the findings of the initial validation, all validators, 6 out of 6, agreed that the SPLDM met all of the requirements in the pedagogical aspect. One of the validators raised a concern about the assurance that students will complete the last activity before answering the next and proposed allocating time to complete the module. The researcher explained the function of required button in the Google form. Each topic's inclusion of a temporal frame was also considered. The outcome suggests that the SPLDM's lesson objectives are well formulated and provide insight into what the learners intended to learn during that session. Furthermore, each module's What I Know portion assesses the learner's past knowledge to bridge the gap between what they already know about the topic and what they must know as the course progresses. In addition, each module contains several incentive tactics to assist students in achieving desired results. Assessment, the final component of each module, is the created SPLDM is responsible for the learner's critical and higher order thinking skills, which are particularly important in mathematics. Finally, the built SPLDM shows how to follow their development and check correct answers as form of feedback to measure their improvement. For the conclusions, the following conclusions are drawn from the study's findings. Number 1, the self-paced learning digital module in Mathematics 10 was created using a learning management system called Google Classroom and went through design, development, and validation phase. Second conclusion, the module's content were identified and selected by taking into consideration the essential learning competencies evaluated by 10 subject matter experts using the Losch content validity ratio and was further validated by 9 experts in terms of content, format, and design, technical or technological, and pedagogical aspects, which received approval from all experts based on the DE or ODL rating sheet they used, satisfying the self-learning requirement. The researcher recommends the following based on the study's findings. As an one, the first one is as an alternative to printed modules, the self-paced learning digital module can be employed. More research is recommended as part of this study to expand the findings in terms of application and efficacy through experimental design. The produced learning modules can be used as a complement to mathematics curriculum, and the self-paced learning digital module can be used in a variety of topic areas and courses to encourage students to use technology in their learning through an alternative delivery model. Thank you for listening on the presentation today. God bless you all.